Hi. Fall 2021, Child Development 205. Welcome to class video. I'm really excited. We're going to talk about the syllabus and Canvas. And I know a lot of you have taken classes before. This is usually not the first class people take. So I'm going to make the assumption that you guys know Canvas, you've seen a syllabus, and we're kind of going to get through this in about an hour. And yeah, sure enough, I start recording and the dog's like, me, no, go. Okay, great. Welcome to class. I'm super duper excited. I always love this stuff. So thank you for being flexible ahead of time. Again, I'm always trying to make this as best as possible. In terms of this this meeting, I'm going to post it if you didn't, if you're not going to make it, which is fine. In online classes, Zoom meetings are 100% optional, but I like to do Zoom meetings just because I'm me and I do that. Okay, so in every syllabus, you're going to see a mission statement from the campus. So that's required from all of us. I don't feel the need to read to anybody, but if I'm talking too fast or anything, just let me know. Here's our course information. Again, this is an 8-week course. That's why I sent that email earlier. I was like, hey, if by chance you look like, if we open up the class next week and you see, or even today, and we go through all the calendar and you're like, oh, I can't do that in 8 weeks. I have another class starting in like 2 weeks and it goes for the whole semester. So it's really exciting. I'm co-teaching that with a new professor. So if you have questions on that, that's absolutely available. If you have friends who want to take this class is actually full. So that one, yeah, have them email me or whatever, and we'll get that going. Course description. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Course description. Basically, this is an intro to special needs. Now, special needs, as most of us know it, is we talk about people who have different abilities. Well, special needs in this regard to this class is more talking about the special needs program, because a person, and we'll do this, we'll talk about this in chapter 1, a person is not special needs. Quite frankly, we all are special needs, if you really think about it. At any given day or every given week or season in our life, we have needs that may be special or unique to us. So the term special needs is not really the actual way to describe people. We do that as, it's almost like a community or like a societal way of saying that person is special needs. Well, so am I, and so are you. So in this regard, we're going to use special needs as a program that children they qualify for, because it is protected in the United States as a law that children who are different or differently abled or neurodiverse or have some additional needs are allowed to get educated with their typically developed peers. So special needs, so you're going to hear like, you might hear me say exceptional kids or neurodiverse kids or kids with unique abilities or kids with different needs or kids with augmented requirements. I've also heard children with special rights. So there's a lot of different terminology here. We also like the term inclusive community. And so we'll talk more about the language, but in terms of our course description, this is an intro to all of that. Now, again, and I keep saying intro because what I'm teaching you here is not everything you're going to learn. This is about 10 or 20% of what you will learn in comparison to what you will learn on the job. This is just like getting your ankles wet. And when you get on the job, you'll go all the way like this. Because let's say we're going to talk about autism or ADHD, or even somebody with intellectual disabilities or a person with seizure disorder. Yeah, you can learn about it all in a book or online or whatever, but not until you're like face to face with a student or a child or a person are you going to be like, oh, I get it now, right? So just know, let's put it in perspective. I am really excited about this class and I want you guys to learn a lot, but this is not the end all and be all of what you will need. Even if you don't go into special needs, even if you're just going to be a gen ed teacher, even if you're never going to be a teacher, even if you're going to volunteer at Sunday school, a lot of this information will be helpful as an intro. As you go further, you will learn a lot more. Every class has student learning outcomes. And so in this class, I'm going to make sure that you know the different types of exceptionalities. It's another term. We're going to talk about history of special needs, programming in this country. And I don't really need to overstate the obvious. Our country hasn't always done a good job, but they're trying. We are trying. We have laws in place. I can't say that about other countries. So there's a lot of historical implications on how students were educated and how students are educated now. And now with COVID, wow, right? There's a lot more, again, brains that aren't focusing and brains that are experienced trauma. One of my son said one of his classmates lost 3 family members over the summer. Yikes. How does that affect a high school freshman? Right. So it's just one of these things where we all have some things going on, but again, we have to look at what those quirks or differences. I don't want to underrepresent by saying quirks, but sometimes when things are mild, we don't need the full special needs program. We just need a little bit of support, right? Like Danny said, I study and then I walk away. That is a support technique. Sometimes kids just need that. They don't need the full program. So we'll talk of the difference between accommodations and modifications in a full IEP, and how supports may just help a student. Think of it this way. If you're a person who wears glasses, I wear glasses. These are blue light glasses. I was having headaches this first semester we transitioned. And it was one of my students who said, have you tried the blue light glasses? And I said, oh yeah, you're right. I should try that because my device has a blue light filter, right? But not my computer. And so, yeah, put these on, my headache went away. In fact, I had a headache this morning. I put it on. Guess what? I'm feeling better. So there's this thing. So why would we put a whole program in place to support me when all I just need is one little tool? Right. And sometimes just moving a child to the front of the classroom, getting their ears checked is the first thing, getting their eyes checked is the first thing. So we don't have to do this full program, right? But we'll talk about the history of that progressiveness and how we make those decisions, and collaborate with families and community members. And so I give you an idea of what we're going to do to show your learning. So we're going to do a film analysis, we're going to have a choice board project, and do a public service announcement. So I will try to get those actual assignments up early because, and again, in an 8-week class, you'll have the assignments on a due schedule, but you can start working on them early. This is our book. I'm hoping one day to have an online book, like a free book, but we're still using this. Please get it. You can get it in hard copy. You can rent it. You can get it in electronic copy. I get mine from Vital Source. Is it Vital Source? It's an online, it's an online program, and I bought it. I don't know. I forgot what I paid for, like a lifetime access, and then I can make notes on it. I can print it out, like whatever, however the medium works for you, whatever works in your budgets and things like that. It's a pretty good book. The way it's laid out is a little redundant. You're going to see like the table of contents kind of like repeated a couple of times, but that's my only critique. Everything's pretty good in there. And I think that's the most updated version. So I'm not updating. That's frustrating when like there's a new version of the book that comes out and then you have to like change everything, and then it's more expensive. So I think this is the most updated one. So this is the best one so far. Let's see, because it's an online class, get all the stuff that you need to be successful. You got it. What to expect. I kind of mentioned this before we started recording, is like, education's different now. And we are not here just to like spend time just to spend time's sake. We're here to learn, and we're here to apply what we've learned, because otherwise, why are we learning it? Campus policies are pretty much the same for every class because we're all on the same campus. Security and safety still works for online students. If you are even nearby, or you're like right off campus and like your car stalls out or you get a flat tire, they'll help you even like right off campus. So just know that those people are there for you. Educational support needs, that's a nice way of saying we have a pantry. If you know where my classroom is, U99, it's actually closer to my classroom now. It's at the end of that line of portables near the parking lot, and they are helping people sign up for CalFresh. They're trying to do like housing coordination and things like that. So it's not just pantry anymore. So I'm really excited about that, because as a former social worker, that was a big deal. How can somebody move forward in their life when they don't even have enough to eat? And how can you guys learn, right? And don't be like, oh, I don't need it. Yeah, but you might. And it's okay to like get a bag of groceries and like share with your family and friends. It's okay too, because we get donations, we pull money out of our paychecks, like Second Harvest Food Bank, we got it. So please utilize the resources. Again, all college students, all public school students in the United States are covered under Title IX of the Education Amendment. This means that things need to be equals. Okay, so if you are being mistreated in any way, even at home, even as an online student, you need to like reach out. I'm here for you. We'll help you get the support that you need. And again, as a college student, you are very well protected. So make sure that you're utilizing those sources. A lot of times, things might be going on, like at work, somebody's, being creepy or whatever. No, you are literally protected under Title IX, as even if it happens at school, at work. So I'm also on the care team and the student conduct committee. So I'm very invested in making sure that you guys are safe and healthy and sound. So if you guys need anything, reach out to me. Even if it's something that you're not sure I can help you with, reach out. I'll try to plug you in. I still have some connections in the community. So always be in contact with me. I'm here for you guys. Even after the class, reach out. Let's see, add drop procedures. I left these lines in here for you guys to be aware of your add drop procedures. What do I have here? So what I do, I literally print out the academic calendar for the year. I print it out, so I have it. So because we're an 8-week class, I don't have the exact, oh wait, okay, so the exact first 8-week classes, no, it only gives me the dates for the 16-week classes. So make sure you are aware. I think if you want, you want to like hightail it out of here and get your money back, I think it's like this weekend, like this Sunday. So make sure you're be aware of those dates. You can find those in Web Advisor listed under the class. Academic dishonesty means don't cheat. And in my class, we don't, I course designed to where you don't have to cheat. We understand as online professors, like Chegg has had a good renaissance in helping people understand, answer questions, but I'm very, very measured in like, hey, I want your opinion on this. So if you have to go find your opinion on the internet or ask Chegg to write your opinion, that's a problem, right? Don't do it, because then I have to report you, and then I'm on the student conduct committee, and then it shows like your student cheated. My eye. Please don't do it. Plus, it goes on your transcript, so just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Always contact me. I use the Canvas inbox and Pronto, so you see me go back and forth on that. The thing is that Canvas inbox, I have to be in Canvas to use the inbox, but Pronto is on my phone. So, sometimes I'll get right back to you because I can, and sometimes it'll take me a minute. But I'm usually checking in with my Canvas inbox and Pronto several times a day, like usually in the morning before I even get ready. I get the kid on the bus, and then I'm like, I go check my inbox. Because again, if you take me before, my philosophy is I was hired by the board, but I work for you guys, especially in a fast online class. I want to make sure I'm here and responsive, especially if there's any little hiccup in the Canvas piece. I don't want any hiccups. If there are hiccups, I will move due dates. We'll be flexible. I always make sure the stress is at a minimum, hopefully, so then your brain is open to learn. And again, this is human development stuff. It's not like hard. It's not hard, right? It's you, it's us, it's the community. A lot of us have a half knowledge of this stuff already, right? And so you're just building on the stuff that you know and making it meaningful. I don't record attendance. It's an online class. If you're here for the Zoom meeting, great. If you're not, if you need to leave early, that's fine too. Again, you're an adult, you're taking the class, you know what works in your schedule. I will bug you if I haven't seen anything uploaded in like a week, especially in this class. I will know by, what's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow, I will know by tomorrow, because Canvas records the minutes that you have participated in this class. I will know by tomorrow if somebody's cutting the mustard. Yeah. So just for me, it's like if you haven't even put in an hour, now nothing's due until Sunday, but if you haven't even poked around for an hour in an 8-week class, when we expect you to do like 6 hours, 9 hours a week, an hour by Thursday, I will reach out and be like, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware, but like, get on it. Yeah, that'll be my, if you get one of those, you'll know what I'm talking about. Again, submitting assignments are all online. If for some reason I put on Canvas like a paper assignment, then that's incorrect. Just let me know. I'll change it, like the submission, whatever. I also added this grading piece. I believe everybody wants a good grade. Now, if you want an A grade, if you want a C, perfect, that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. Those are your goals, right? As long as if you're getting a C and your head's on straight and you're a huge, great advocate and you are doing the right interventions and you know the laws and the regulations, great. Be an average student. That is fine with me as long as you're doing the right stuff. But opposite, if you're an A student and you're clueless, no, that's not okay. I was never your professor if that was the case, right? So have your head on straight and even get a B. That somewhere in the middle, that's great, because again, nobody's going to ask you, maybe if you transfer, what grade did you get in that class? But I guarantee the 4-year-olds that you're working with in a preschool are not going to be like, what grade did you get in intro to special needs class? Because I really need to know. You're not providing the right interventions for me. that could happen, right? Be a good student and whatever that grade, right? Also, no grade grabbing, right? I have people who are like, but I need 100% in this class. No, that shows me you have like maybe anxiety that maybe we should talk about and get you some support for, because an 89.5 in this class is an A. Yeah, which means you can miss about 100 points and still get an A. There's a bunch of ways to do that, but people are like, oh, you're telling me how to miss points? Yes, because getting an 89.5 is the same A on your report card or your transcript as a 99.5, right? So don't like pick your battles, right? And if you're in December when it's like finals week and you're like freaking out about 7 points, that's not going to make or break your grade at all. Not at all. So I will have a little chat with you about, okay, what's important right here. We'll pick your battles. Let's take a break. Let's breathe. Right? No grade grabbing. It doesn't help. It actually blocks you from learning when you're so wound up about points. Please don't do that. Late policy. I call my late policy target dates. Now, with that being said, all the dates are in there. Sorry, I have totally got something in my eye. All the target dates, the due dates, they will match up to the syllabus, right? But if you need an extra day or two to get it in, I'm cool with that. If it's going to take you like a week, let me know, right? I do course design to let you like kind of like miss an entire week-ish and still be okay in this class, because I drop the lowest. I drop like low point activities. So it's like a 5, 10, or maybe 15 point activity. I take one of those over the course of the class and drop it. Meaning, if something comes up, like somebody gets sick or you get busy or whatever, something comes up and you need to take a week off, you can. Now, if you don't take the week off and you still do all the stuff, you still get that drop lowest kick in at the end. I think it's like 40 points now. I'm giving you 40 points at the end. Yeah. So we'll talk all about that. So any questions so far? Pretty boilerplate, pretty straightforward. Yeah. So for me, I course design this way. Every week, the module opens at 8 a.m. and you're going to see the same sort of activities with a few differences. And we'll talk about that on the schedule. So every week there's an outline due. And sometimes you'll hear me say notes, and that's fine. When I say outlines, I do give instructions on what they need to look like. So if it's typed, 2 pages is fine, like typed is fine. But if it's handwritten, maybe 4. If you want to mind map, then mind map. If you want to give me an artistic drawing, great. If you want to give me Zentangles, awesome. If you want to use Cornell notes, if you want to use a bulleted list, if you want to do an interpretive dance on your bed about the notes that you read on this, I'm okay with that. In fact, that's very entertaining for me, and I kind of enjoy this. So I'm open to the format of what your notes look like. It's just keeps the momentum. It's a little bit busy work, but it keeps the momentum, right? If you weren't taking notes, then how do you know you're actually remembering stuff? Just the act of writing stuff down in your way will help. That's like your first blush to the stuff. Okay. And and again, some of the stuff can be a little dry. So trust me, it can get a little technical because we are talking about laws and things like that. But some of it is very narrative in the language, and we talk about the quality of support for people. So sometimes it starts to get bigger than you, and so writing stuff down really helps. We do a discussion board in here. I do 1 per week, not 1 per chapter. So after this week, we'll have 2 chapters per week, because again, this is an 8-week class, but I do 1 discussion board per week instead of 2 discussion boards, right? So I try to find something that's meaningful and mid-ground for both of those chapters. At the end of each chapter, you will have a personal reflection journal. So at the end of each week, that is 2 journals based on what you learned that week in that chapter. I do a piece where it's like, give me 5 sentences on what you learned, and then give me 5 sentences on like a part, like something new, like something that has to do with this chapter, but additional research that you've done. That could be, let's say if we're talking about kids who had a traumatic brain injury, that's like way down the line, chapter 14. But there may be a support website or a podcast or an article, something that's in addition to what you've learned. So I know that you've learned something from what I gave you, but there's more out there, right? And then last piece is like, how does this apply to you or your life or your job now or your job in the future? So that one's like 15 points. I bumped that up a little bit. Yeah. So if you've taken me before, the reflection journals used to be 10, now it's 15. I just added. So it's 5 sentences, 5 sentences, 5 sentences, 15 points. And again, I put all the instructions in there. I'm a little bit compulsive about that. Try to make like graphics and make it consistent and whatnot. I did add a feedback survey to our modules, and it's 100. So they're 3 points each, but they're listed really as 0. So they're technically extra credit. So if you do completely blow it off, blow it off. But if you have something to say like, oh, you blew it on this one, Professor Laney, or this was really good, or have you thought about this? I'll take it up to 3 points. So I'm already giving you extra credit starting week 2. Yeah. So our assignments, there's only 4, which I figured 2 months, 4 assignments, that's a minimum that we could do. Film analysis. Ugh, yeah, it sounds great, but I'm going to make you dig deep a little bit. The point on this one is that we are out to find, I have a couple that I know of that we could do. I'm planting a seed right now. We can find a movie or a film or something that has to do with where the actual actor is disabled. Right? Because if we're watching Forrest Gump and I Am Sam and the Temple Grandin story, those are not disabled actors. I want you to find disabled actors. And again, I have a couple of hints. And again, when I'll open those assignments probably next week, so you can see all of them. Again, I try not to overwhelm. So Monday morning, you'll see 2 chapters open, and by Wednesday, you'll probably see the assignments, and we can go over those next week. If you're here or not, I will record and post. Public service announcement. We're going to do like a little PowerPoint that's like 3 slides on like a PSA. Again, it's something that, you know what a PSA is, right? It's like the more you know commercials. And it's just giving like an FYI to the community that people might not know certain things. Like, for example, you know, most of us are familiar with people with Down syndrome, right? And so just because somebody has Down syndrome doesn't mean that they don't want to have a job, or they can actually talk. And my aunt had Down syndrome. I grew up with a person in my family with Down syndrome, and I could tell you people just ignored her, pretended she was invisible. So sometimes PSA would be like, hey, a person with Down syndrome, you know, can have a meaningful life too. Or a PSA would be, people with autism sometimes flap their hands when they're excited. So PSAs are just like almost like a bus poster that can provide information to people that maybe people don't have. And so I have a bunch of topics that you guys can pick from. You can also tell me what topic really is important to you. You may have like an affinity in your soul to work in the deaf community. And like you can, you know, your PSA could be, hey, did you know that that deaf toddlers babble in sign language? They do. As they're seeing you sign to them, hopefully if you sign to them, they start playing around with their hands, but they're not really saying anything. It's almost like a toddler babbling. Toddlers who know how to sign also sign in their sleep, like talking in their sleep. So little pieces of information like that is always fantastic to share with the community. And a lot of people just don't know. If I had a nickel for every time people said to me, oh, your son has autism, but he looks so normal. People with autism can look normal and be verbal, right? So there's different things that we can pick from, that it's all to share this information. And I have you record it, and you're going to share it in a discussion board so we can all see it. And so we can all, because if you're making a PSA for me, I think I kind of got it. But I want you guys to be teaching each other. Cool. All right. The choice board capstone. I'm going to take the word capstone out of here. I used to call it capstone, but this is my version of, I give you options of answering a question or presenting something. And this one's going to be about the historical piece, the SLO that we talked about. But you get to do it in the medium of your choice. So if you are an artist or a scrapbooker or anything, you can create, if you want to write a book, if you want to do a presentation, I had somebody with their guitar, ukulele, write a song about, she wrote something about like emotional behavior disorders in this class. And it was amazing. It was like the person who was the quietest in the class who never said anything. She comes up and sings a song. I was like blown away. So the content is set, the topic is set, but the presentation is all yours. Yeah, because you can learn that topic in your meaningful way. It doesn't have to be my way. Certainly not everybody needs to share this business up here. It's crazy. And then lastly, we're going to have Portfolium, where we put all our stuff in. Now, I've introduced this in other classes and it kind of didn't land, but this semester we actually have somebody in our division who's training on Portfolium. So I'm super duper excited about that. Her training actually comes after our class is over. So I'm having her set up another opportunity. And it's one of these things that I do like this, like I'll probably do it on a Thursday at noon or something. And then if you guys make it, great. If not, you'll have the recording. It's essentially like LinkedIn, and then it's going to have all your coursework. So if you're transferring or getting a job, all your stuff's in there and you could apply for the job. Your employer can see the stuff. It's fantastic. And so we're adopting that across all of our child development classes. I'm super duper excited because I applied for this job using LinkedIn. I had my syllabus in there, I had PowerPoints in there, I had Prezis in there, I had all kinds of stuff, all my education, my degrees, and stuff like that. And I clicked a button and it just populated. Was the best. And I got that. Okay. Any questions so far on what we're doing? Otherwise, we have quizzes and exams. Pretty straightforward in this class. Quizzes every week, 10 points, 5 true false, 5 multiple choice, and exams, 50 points at the end of each unit. So after each 4 chapters, it's like unit 1's 4, unit 2's 4, unit 3's 4, unit 4 is 3. So a little bit less on the last week, but it doesn't feel that way. But it's, yeah, it's less. And this semester, I'm trying something new. I'm taking away all the time limits and keeping it open as much as possible, meaning you can take it as many times as you want and with no time limits. Yeah. Because again, my opinion on quizzes and exams is that you can still learn while you're taking a quiz or exam. But if you're stressed out about it, you're not going to learn. You're not going to retain. And I need you to retain so you can go out into the, make those changes in the community, right? Support people who need the support in the community. Yeah. And being stressed out about a quiz or exam, it's not going to help you learn. And again, I have the due dates on those quizzes and exam all set up. But if you need to be just a couple of days late on those, that's great. If it's going to be more than a week, let me know. I call it a recovery plan. Share me with your recovery plan. But everything is like a big hamster wheel in here. It's all on the calendar. It's all ready to go. Because again, a predictable environment creates openness in the brain. So it's not stressed out. Do you know your blood flow changes in your brain when you're stressed? We learn and retain a lot of information. Our processing is up here. We'll talk more about the brain. But when we're stressed, our blood flow leaves this area and goes on the inside, because that's where our like, hey, you need to breathe. Hey, you might need to run. Hey, right? The inside of our brain is all the animal stuff. The outside is our thinking stuff. Well, guess what? If your blood flow is not in the thinking stuff, you're not going to remember. So I want to make sure that there's the least amount of stress in this class. Challenge, yes. Stress, no. Different. Does that make sense? And I have extra credit opportunities. You can watch extra documentaries, but in this class, even if you, let's say, like do this film analysis and you are so amazing, you might get 55 points on that, right? I already said in here that you're going to have a feedback survey. You can do extra 3 points every week. So a lot of people don't even use, I know my audio is going out. A lot of people don't even need the extra credit in this class, but it's there just in case you know. So here's kind of a breakdown of the points in this class. And it's plus or minus, it's about 1,080, but sometimes I'll add points and take things, or I'll just erase like certain things as long as it's not connected to SLO. But that's pretty much it. And so I changed my format a little bit in my syllabus, but it's all pretty much the same. So here's our calendar. So our entire 8 weeks is looks like this. And since we're together, let's do some colors here. So this is first week. What color? I'm gonna highlight this in a color. What color should it be?
I would like to do everything in rainbow order. That's
okay,
just
so what is rainbow order?
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
Okay, fantastic. Everybody good with that? Danny made the choice. You guys good?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Yellow's a little funky though here. So let me skip. I'll go red, orange, green. So first unit is, so we'll make it like the pink, and it has to be really light colors or else it's just going to be weird. Let's do the green, and then we'll do blue, purple. Right. And we'll actually talk about mnemonic devices, like how to remember things like the colors of the rainbow. Do you guys remember that one? What's the mnemonic device to help remember the colors of the rainbow?
Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv.
I love everything in rainbows, so I'll never forget that.
Perfect. But those are some of the strategies that we use to help children learn, right? And so we'll talk about a little bit more about that in this class about mnemonic devices. And maybe you already know those things. There's another one in the book that has to do with all the lakes in North America: Holmes, Huron, or Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. I didn't even know that until this book. I was like, fantastic. So, so that's what it looks like. That's what our 8 weeks looks like. But let's get in there. Let's dig in a little bit. And if there's anything wrong or missing, you let me know and I'll fix it. So this week we're just getting all this stuff done, and we'll go over, when we're done with this little calendar, we'll go over to Canvas, and then I'll walk you guys through what this looks like in Canvas. Okay, so this week we're just going to be doing prep stuff, getting our book. There's nothing to do with the book, but get it. Okay. Next week we're going to hit the ground running. It's fast. Okay. So we do 2 chapters every week, except for the last week. It's 3 chapters, which is a lot. And I'll double check on that because I'm going to make sure, because we have 15 chapters in 8 weeks, which is about, yeah, it's about right. So I've taught this class in 16 weeks, in 8 weeks. I've taught this class and face-to-face at SAC, and it was in January. So we met Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night for 3 hours. Yeah, it's hairy, but it's doable. Hairy, but doable. Okay, so on Mondays, the module opens. By Wednesdays, put your first post in the discussion board. Now that's just a hint. I can't grade that. If you get your first post in by Thursday, that's fine. But if you do both of them on Sunday, like your first post and then reply to 2 peers on Sunday, that's not a discussion. That's basically like a Twitter rant, right? Like, I'm just going to say it and walk away. Like, that's not what we're doing. This class relies heavily on you guys learning from each other, because I don't have you guys sitting in a table talking about it, but I want you guys to still talk about it, because it's not all about what I know. It's how you guys learn it and how you process it. And by the way, I'm kind of stuck on the ed bubble, right? There's stuff happening out there that you guys are going to teach me. And I love that, because I do feel like sometimes I'm missing certain things because I'm not like working with kids right now. I'm working with adults. And so things are changing rapidly. And so keep me honest, keep me updated. So you'll have your first post in the discussion board on Wednesdays. The outlines or notes or whatever, get them in by Friday. But if you do it by Saturday or Sunday, it doesn't matter to me. It just, if you need more time, like if your work schedule is a certain way, hey, guess what? If you want to do everything on Monday, you still need to come back and loop back to the discussion, because not everybody's going to do it on Monday. But you can subscribe to that discussion and it'll just alert you when somebody answers, and then you can go back. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I know that when I'm organized, I do it early in the week. When I'm disorganized, I'm doing it like the last minute. So trying to get ahead of the game. That's why I make this week this bubble to breathe. So you can be ahead of the game. And if you guys are open for it, I can open the modules like on Sundays, just to guys. I have to do it methodically. I can't give you all of them at the same time, but I can give you like the day ahead. It's up to you. Let me know. I can offer that, but I need you guys to request it in order for me to do it. So again, by Saturdays, I just put the I put the projects, the assignments on Saturdays. So again, you can do it Friday, you can do it Thursday, you can do it Sunday, you can even do it the following Monday. But I kind of spread it out. So if you are good with doing certain days on Thursday in the week, you can do it in a methodical way. Our week is Monday through Sunday. So I do a little bit, not every day, but you can, or you can do it all in one day. Again, that's the best part about online classes, is that they have that, you have those choices within the week, and you're not just, coming to class on one day or whatever. So again, you're going to, at the end of the week, you have to finish your discussion board, but there's also reflection for chapter 1 and 2. There's a quiz for chapter 1 and 2. So, but again, these are kind of shorter things. The reflections should take you maybe an hour. If you're really reflecting, adding something, and tell me how it applies to you, hour tops. If you spend more than an hour on your reflection, something's up. Okay. The quizzes, most people take them in about 10 minutes. Again, you may take them multiple times, use your book. There's no time limit, right? So what I tell people is like, challenge yourself. Take the quiz the first time. Again, after you submit your notes, take your quiz the first time and then see what you know. I really do test on what's in the book. I don't test on what's here, because that's crazy. I feel like you guys have access to your book at any given time. So I test out of the book. And if you just take your quiz and you get like an 8 out of 10 the first time around, go back and take it and get those last 2. Yeah. Right. Basically, if you're not getting a 10 on every quiz and a 50 on every test, that's your choice. And I'm cool with that. That's your choice. Not everybody wants the full points. That's cool. Your course. So if you look, every week is the same thing. So just 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Now I go out of order, and I will send out an email that says, hey, we're out of order on purpose. And you'll see why. Our book puts Gifted. Did I put? Oh, wait, no. Yeah. So 5, 6, and then 9, 11. So I put in chapter. So first chapter is all about what is the special needs program? What is the history? What are the laws? What are the requirements? Why are we doing this? And then we get into the stuff, and I moved it this way to maybe talk about the things that are more common, ease us into different disabilities that are maybe we already kind of know about. So first one is speech and language. That shows up in little kids, right? They might say the always willy, or the W is willy willed, right? And that's not a big deal because they're physically, their palate, their mouth is still growing. We can help them with that, right? Then as they get into school, you might see some learning disabilities pop up. They can't identify the first letter of their name, or they don't have that ability to change from jump from cat to cats, things like that. So again, as children, I did this as children, 5 and 6 is in order, but 9 is where you might see, oh, that child may have some indicators of a lower IQ or an intellectual disability. So things I wanted to put it in order, but they put chapter 9 down there. So I was like, nope, my class, put it up here. And then the physical and health disabilities. You might have a child who was born missing fingers, right? And so that's more common for us. You might have a child in a wheelchair. That's a little bit more common for us. As we're learning, it's more comfortable to go with the stuff that you've a little bit more common. Then at the end of every unit, you'll see right here, unit 1 exam, unit 2 exam, right? Makes sense? Then we have here in unit 3, this is the one that people kind of come to the class for. This is like, I call this the meat of the class. So ADHD, emotional stuff, emotional behavior disorders, ASD, autism spectrum disorders, and gifted kids. They put gifted kids way at the end of the book. And I'm like, because you're going to see a lot of kids with autism or even ADHD or even emotional stuff who are gifted. So I put these guys together because they kind of coexist. The term in this field is called comorbidity, which sounds like somebody's dying but are dead. No, it just means we still have this, even in the medical community, we have a lack mindset. Well, if somebody's not completely healthy, they have something that's less than. So we say it's less than fully alive. So comorbidity just means that it's 2 things that are less than typical development. Yeah, it's just a funky term. So you might have somebody with ADHD. Check this out. You might also have somebody with ADHD who's in a wheelchair. You might have somebody with emotional and behavior disorders who has a learning disability. So the comorbidity can happen all over the place. You can have students with 3 or more. My son has autism, ADHD severe. He also has dysgraphia, which is a learning disability. He has auditory processing disorder, sensory processing disorder. Yeah, right. And even he's in therapy right now. And this is a whole other class. Is he's reactive attachment disorder. So like he has a lot of different things going on. So a lot of times you'll see one student with one thing, but then you'll see another student with like 3 or 4 different things. And we attend to the things as they pop up, right? And our IEP might have one listed first and one listed second. And it doesn't really matter as long as that student is getting the proper supports. We'll talk more about that. Okay. Last chapter, deafness and hard of hearing. So the deaf community, low vision and blindness, people who can't always see, and then all the little catch-alls back here in chapter 14. Other low incidence disabilities include TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. So that's the one where like somebody's in a car accident or a skiing accident or boating accident, and they were like a typically developed kid, and then all of a sudden they come back and they lost their ability to speak. So kind of sad, but it happens. We all know somebody who got in that car accident or the boating accident or whatever. And then that chapter also includes students who are deaf and blind. Can't hear, can't see. How do we communicate with them? Wow. Yeah. So I did put all 3 of those together because they are a little bit shorter. And then I did combine again the discussion boards one per week, not one per chapter. That helps. So every unit should have one discussion board here, one every week, and then this one will only have one. Now, in November, we will have a Veterans Day holiday that it shows up on a Wednesday. I don't expect anything due on a Wednesday. Anything that would normally be due on a Wednesday will be pushed to Thursday. Don't worry about it. Yeah, did I put notes? Yeah, outlines. Okay, so yeah, the outlines are normally here. Yeah, and do your first discussion board course post on the Thursday or the Tuesday. Pretty straightforward, right? Predictable, straightforward. The only thing that's weird is that the chapter's a little bit out of order. Question.
I have a question. Our last meet would be on, well, our last week is from the 11th through the 17th of October.
Yeah, but this class right here is 8 weeks.
Okay, so then on the last where it says it's like the no late work accepted after.
Thank you. Thank you, October 17th. Now, with that, thank you for telling me. With that being said, that is a Canvas issue. I cannot, even if I'm flexible with due dates or target dates, I cannot extend the length of the class. So if you seriously, you can't be like, oh, she's really cool about it, I can turn it in on Tuesday after. Nope. That's an equity issue. Everybody gets 8 weeks for this class. I can't extend it to be 8 weeks and 2 days for you. Yeah. Same thing with the early part. I can't open it up because it needs to be what's posted, and it's kind of a legal thing. So make sure that you are aware. So yes, thank you, Aurelie. Thank you. Sunday, October 17th. This is why I do it this way. So what I'll do is I'll make this into a PDF with all these little changes and repost it, and then put it in an announcement to you guys have the most updated syllabus. Cool. Good. Any other questions on this? And we'll move to Canvas. Yeah, I think we got it. But anything pops up at any time, just let me know. Okay. What's next? Let's share screen. Good. Let's just want to check in and see everybody's here. Awesome. I think this next part can be about 20 minutes, and we'll end at about 1:30. So share screen. Let's do our whole, yeah, I think this is the camera. I try to share just what you need to see, so you don't have to see everything. Let me pop out of here. So again, you guys know how to access our class through your dashboard. If for some reason you don't have the class on your dashboard, so all courses, I know my audio is not real great right now. So also my stuff will look a little bit different than your stuff. And these are all the classes I've got going on right now. This is us right here. I made it red. Calendar on my navigation panel. Use the calendar. It works for me. So right now you see I have that clicked green. So if I click this red one, it's Christmas. So if I take off the green, it just shows me the red. So all your classes you can have by different colors. This tells us what we have going on here. So this week, this is grayed out a little bit because that's where we're at. So if you see an 11:59, all this one says 1:59. 11:59 is just a reminder to read this. It's not really a due date. It's going to be on your to-do list as like, hey, read this. Right. So I'm going to edit this guy right now, right in front of you, and put 11:59, although most of you have passed it. Once you've clicked on it, it says you've read it, even if you didn't read every word. So this 11:59 is just a hint. Hey, read this. Yeah. Okay. So over here, if it says 8 p.m., let me do this. Let's do 1.3 over here. Let's do this one. I like to do the 4.3s at the end. And let's do this one here. So 4.1, 2, 3. I think there's another one missing. I know that there was something like funky about you could see it, but you couldn't access it. So we'll go through all those things together. So our week looks like this. And when the next week rolls up, you're going to see this intro. So intros to the chapter. I put like an intro page that says, hey, this is what we're going to learn. Intro 1.1 and then 2.1. So remember, 2 chapters per week. And then this will be like your content lecture. This will be the readings, if I have a recording, whatnot. It might be an old recording, but it's still the same content. So same thing, 1.2 and 2.2 there. Then you'll have your outlines due on Friday. Outline 1, outline 2. And then as we go to the next month, which is we're going into September, you'll have here when I populate it. Yeah, there we go. So then we'll have, after we have an introduction, we have outlines due, and then you'll have your discussion board, but I'm going to update that one. That's why you guys can't see this stuff yet. You'll have, I'm combining these two. Then you'll have a quiz, and then you'll have the reflection and an optional survey. So that's why I say, like, I still polish stuff. But this is your red. The red's going to be all you. So look at every Monday, it's going to be the intros. Every Friday is going to be the outlines. The reason this one got pushed over is that this is Labor Day. So I can open the module on that Monday or Sunday. It's up to you, but it is a holiday. Take the day. So it's going to look the same. Your Sundays are going to look the same. Your Mondays are going to look the same. Your outlines are going to look the same. And then on Saturdays, I put this here. So I did put these things, these self-paced modules. And I do put a little grade on there so we can make sure. This is the library workshops, so you can learn about APA formatting, finding sources, and things like that. It's, again, you can take it anytime. That's I think I put the due date like 4 weeks in, or even I don't know. It's really open. It should take you about 30 minutes. But I put little things in there like that just to make sure that we're learning and having our own professional development as we go. So that is our calendar. Utilize it. I think it does connect. And then, I told you my computer's nice and slow. So once you click on your course, I'm going to click student view so you can see what you see, because all this, there's like 27 posts in the discussion board. I love it. So these are, there's going to be your 3 announcements that are always going to be on the homepage. And yes, I make my own little banners and whatnot. These are all buttons because I'm like cuckoo, I told you. So if you see how, if the arrow stays an arrow, if it stays an arrow, you can't click on it. But if it turns into a hand, you can click on it. This will take you to unit 1. These will take you all the modules. Now they might not be open right now because again, I don't want to overwhelm us for everything and I need to polish. But these are all ready to go. I'll have these ready to go. When the module opens, they'll be able to be clicked. Yeah. So I'm trying to do that for all my classes, but I only have it for you guys first because I told you I'm cuckoo. So again, these are your controls right here. Syllabus, obviously that's where your syllabus is. That's where the syllabus is. I've uploaded it. I've copied everything down. There's also a list of assignments that corresponds to the calendar. Announcements are these. Make sure you are getting your announcements in your email. Modules is a list of all the modules, and I'll show you that in a sec. Discussions, it's another place to get the discussion boards, but you can also get them through each module. I'm going to give you guys different options. Assignments will be listed here. Same thing with quizzes, your grades. And then I did leave open Office 365 for everybody because you get that free as a college student, which is beautiful. So a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I only have dot pages. Canvas does not read dot pages. It's not, you can upload or dot HEIC. I can't do it. You need to give me something better. So Office 365 is going to be the way to go. And a PDF is probably going to be your best friend. So I'll leave the student view. Do you like the little welcome sign? I love it. I was like, oh, autism like ribbon. It's sort of rainbowy, but come on, rainbows are awesome forever. Okay, so let's look into the module, everything. But I'll show you as a professor how it's all set up. I like this feature up here. It's called collapse all. That's my favorite. That is my favorite. It's like, I don't want to see all this business. Make it small for me. As it goes small. Hold on. There we go. I'll move this workshop one up here. Yeah, in week 4. I want to make sure that you guys are still learning stuff from the library. And I do give grades for that. Like, it's kind of extra credit, but I'll put that up here so you guys can see it. And I will do, you know what? I'm not going to publish it yet because I need to double check the links.
Professor Lani, I had a quick question. So like, how when we submit our work, then it gives us a grade. It doesn't give us our final grade. When would you be submitting those? During the week or just?
Okay, so if it's something that's like auto graded, like a quiz, it's going to give you the grade immediately. If it's an outline, so Wednesdays are my work day. I try to like do grading on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm trying to keep up on it. Like, again, because it's an 8-week class, I want to make sure I do that. I'm usually behind on grading. I'm just going to tell you that right now, but I try as much as I can, especially in the discussion boards, to try to give you guys like my 2 cents, even though we're not in a classroom. So please be patient, but like, put it this way. After the first 1 or 2 weeks, and if I'm giving you notes, feedback, please read the feedback on the grading. So like I'll say on your outline, this is amazing, this is a great job, or no, it needs a little bit more. Like take that feedback and adjust. So if you might be getting a 4 on your first outline because it's just not enough, make sure you're pushing yourself to get the grade you want. If you want to keep the 4, that's cool. But a lot of times I'll put like feedback and nobody reads it. Blah. So it's a thing where it's like, I try to grade to give you the feedback so you're like on a good path. I try to get like compulsive about it. So today after our class, I'll be doing the intro discussion board and seeing what else people have. But it is also hard for me to grade multiple times, let's say, because again, I give the flex dates or the target dates. If there's only like 2 people who submit in this column, it's like I'm constantly going back to check. So I try to do it on Wednesdays, the discussion board, and on Fridays, the rest of the stuff. If for some reason you missed that Friday date and it's just a little bit late, you're to have to wait till the next week. Do you follow what I'm saying? So I try as much as possible to keep up on it, but boy, it kind of depends on a few things. So please be patient. If for some reason you are freaking out and you need something like graded like ASAP, reach out. But at the same time, you already know, hey, I did 5 points. This is awesome. There's a what if feature on the grade thing. So
okay, it's just, like with the discussion, there's no graded yet. So I know it's the first week, we're just
Well,
starting.
it's not due yet.
But I'm just that kind of student where like I like to know where I'm at because I
Right, but
want
how
to
can
be
I grade
better.
it? How can I grade it if it's not even due yet?
You're right, yeah.
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 So there's a piece where you're going to see my comments, but I can't put a grade on my comment. I can't put a grade on your halfway mark.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Plus, at the same
Thank
time,
you.
let's say you did respond to your 2 peers already, and then I grade it. That kind of like shuts the door on you maybe looping back to your peers.
Right.
Maybe
Yes.
do more, but I
Okay.
don't want to like shut the door on that. So I will not. If it's not due until Sunday, I'm probably not. I'm just going to give you comments. I literally cannot grade it until it's due. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Right. No,
So-
yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Breathe. Remember, just remember, just like in life that's out there, you don't always have an answer to everything exactly when you want it. And life is full of ambiguity, but I don't want to make it extra for you. But I'm not grading every day. That's not that. There's not one professor on the campus who grades every day. It's not going to work. So just give it some time. And we're in the first couple days, so you're gonna be just fine. If you're compulsive, that then like getting stuff in there early, that's a good sign that you're going to do fine. So you're going to be fine.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. And okay, so our first module, it looks like this. Oh, yeah, that's everything. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, so this tells me all the stuff. So if you've taken me before, I did polish a few things, and this is where today's video is going to go right here. But again, I'm not going to go through each one of these things because I know you guys can do it, but I'll tell you what they are. So this one is like, hey, how are you with Canvas? Some tips and tricks on Canvas, the helpline. Canvas is a big deal for online classes. If you're in face-to-face or hybrid classes, it's still good, but this is like all we do is Canvas, right? Set up your tech. This is just giving you a reminder on your settings, your profile picture. Download the Canvas app and the Pronto app if you were willing to do that. I do. It's fantastic. And then the peer-to-peer support help for Canvas, financial aid, everything. I have students who are actually enrolled in this class who used to be like on that help desk. So it's awesome that we have students who want to help students. Because I know sometimes I say, hey, just call Canvas help desk. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bother them. I've called those guys at 2 a.m. I have. Yeah, because that's part of your fees. So you pay the help desk. Here's a hint. Help desk. All the stuff is here. Click it once. Check this out. List this by SAC and SCC. Faculty support, student help, like submit a feature idea. They asked me and I told them, let's do this instead. So and then this gives us updates for observers for roles or whatever. And see, here's Pronto. It's fantastic. Here's the inbox. I cleaned that out before we met. And look, there's 2 people who try to get a hold of me now, which is fine. But again, as you go through, just as you click each one, it'll come off your to-do list. It's just like a, hey, read me. Again, if you've seen 8 p.m. down here, it means that's like an actual assignment. And so the first week is worth about 50 points and it's pretty open. I do require week 1 to be done in week 1. There's no reason to have week 1 lingering on to week 2. And I'll send out an announcement as a reminder. That's the only hard and fast stuff that I don't want that to be a target date. I want that to be, let's get that done and then move on. Again, I added some stuff about mindset, self-care, and time management. This time management one, you guys may have already gotten in there, but I opened up the controls for you guys to add stuff to there. Yeah, so you guys are learning how to add things into Canvas, not a discussion board, just like a list, more like a wiki page. But I think wiki pages are so let's just do this. And then I talk about my teaching philosophy. I do have one other video I was going to put in there. That's how to do well. There we go. It's down here. How to do well in this course. It's a little PowerPoint. It basically says, get your book, read your book, do the homework, do the studying, learn Canvas. It's just the same stuff. Again, I have more policies up here that correspond to all the stuff in the syllabus that we went over. Title IX is very important. That is, again, federal law. I put a video in there to watch, and then there's 2 cute ones that kind of explain the same thing. Our academic advisement and job placement. This is the one where you're asking who's our counselor for us. It's Amanda's in here. And so click on that. There's a video in there you can watch, and I'll talk about Amanda and Caroline, who are in the dean's office, who are assigned to us to help us be awesome. So please reach out to them. They are here. They are working. They want to hear from you. They want to help our students. I'm excited. And then here's our last piece. All these pieces I have to do by Sunday. So what I'll do is I actually will click on these to make they're okay. So if you look, so this one I used to do make everybody take a survey. I'm going to spread that out. Fair? Shall we? Here's Tisa's already put. I love this one. And so make links because look at that. I love it. I want to get in there. And this is how I get to know like who people are. And again, we might not ever see all our classmates in our meetings, but we'll see them online. So this is how we get to learn each other, right? This is so cool. I love it. You know what? And while we're here, if you're not sure how to answer, just hit reply. So let me, you know what? So, since we're doing this together, let me see if I can embed mine right now. Embed picture. Let's see. It should let me do it because I have a poster. I made a poster and it's crazy. Let's see if it's on here, if it's not. So yeah, you just find the file that you want to embed versus just make a link. Where is it? Let's see if it's here. I went into Prezi and just like made a poster and just, I couldn't decide on which pictures. And so I made a collage on my phone and then updated those pictures. So each one of my pictures is like, no, that's not there. I gotta download it again. So I'll do that later today, but that's how you add something. You hit reply and then you hit right here where it says you can either add the media or you can add upload the image. Now on your phone, the controls might look a little bit different, but again, now make sure that you're replying to 2 or more. It can always be more, right? And I gave you options here on what to use. You can use the Office 365, you can use the Adobe, you can do all that stuff. Prezi, oh, good question, Alex. Prezi is like, well, it's free. Just type in prezi.com. It used to be like an online version of PowerPoint. I love Prezi, but we've had our ups and downs because Prezi used to be like a Flash based, and then they canceled it Flash last year, and I lost all my stuff. So we broke up for a while, and now they revamped Prezi to look almost like Canva, to where you can design stuff. You can have it's fantastic. So just go around and poke around on that. It's super awesome. But again, you can go into Office 365 that you guys have that right here. And you can do it. If you look at your classmates, they just uploaded a picture and an explanation. That works too. But I put mine on one. So all I had to do is upload one. So your choice. There's lots of different options. Just don't give me links because nobody wants to click a link. They'd rather just see a picture. Plus, on certain devices, it's not equitable, meaning like certain devices can't read your links. What? Right. So now I don't want you to lose points just because it's a link, right? Just put your stuff in. It's all good. It's all good. I'm pretty open for resubmitting. Like if people do it wrong the first time, let's just figure it out and do it right. So when you get to the very end, you just click next, or you can go next to the module. Look at that. SCC, yay. And then we go through a scavenger hunt. And Tisa already let me know I had something wrong in here. So I did update that. Again, you saw the announcements I put on the Oops Finder. Let me know the oopsies. You guys get a +1. Cool. Yeah. So again, these questions, if you haven't done this already, this is kind of like, some of the questions are like, what are the file formats that I accept in this class? That's in the policies. What's the name of our library? That's on the SEC website. What day of the week is the outlines due? Fridays, like things like that. So, I mean, again, if you're not getting your full points on this, that's on you. And that's cool. If you don't want them, that's fine. Just make sure this one is done. Next one is something new that I added. It was an academic honesty agreement. With the online classes, things have just gotten out of hand with the cheating and stuff like that. I mentioned that before. I do set up this class to where you don't have to cheat. So if you do, it's like 10 times worse. Don't make me have to report you because I will. It's super embarrassing for you. I mean, yeah, honestly, the students, then you have to talk to the chair, the dean, the vice president, the dean of students, and she's a lawyer. You don't want to mess with her. Like, there's a thing. So just don't cheat. It's 5 questions. Like, hey, I know cheating's wrong, but it's pretty. Last one is, are you really ready? Survey. It's really a checklist. Hey, did you get your book? Hey, did you do the first discussion board? Hey, did you like, yeah, and you can answer no, just go back and do it. Like, it doesn't mean that the answer is wrong. Just go back and do it. Yeah, things like that. So pretty straightforward. So let me go back to the modules. There is one other module as I wrap it up here, that like a catch-all module that you can use the information in there or not. It's the one after here. So I close this down. Hold on. Sorry, thank you for being patient. Let me scroll down because I'm too lazy to wait. This supportive information is require you guys to read this one, where it says mark done. Read this. It says all this business is optional, but this is where I put things like how to do the outlines. Here's your options for your outlines. They're little videos. Some spelling and grammar. Okay. Some tech that we might use. Here's the Portfolio, VLC media players. If you for some reason you can't play the videos, that's like a general video player. It's really good. Speech Notes website is text talking to like, and I know our devices do that, but I like this one too, because it got Vygotsky and Malala Yousafzai the first time. So I'm like a big fan because I don't type real fast, but I talk real fast. So I'll let it do its job. I'm going to take it. Confused. Grammarly.com is fantastic. I use it in everything. And then it also gives you a tone meter. So like if you're writing something, I was writing something kind of boring, some curriculum stuff, and it said, your tone is just slightly disapproving. And I was like, yeah, that's accurate. That is slightly disapproving. It's boring, but it kind of helps you. Are you being too peppy? Are you being too stern? Are you being too cold? Are you being too aloof? Like somewhere in the middle is good. Some mindset stuff here, and we'll talk more about this. I love this last one. It's just all I really needed to know. I learned in kindergarten. It's like how to share, how to be friends, how to, and I was like, it's about right. Study guides. I will have some study guides here later, so let me take that off. Trauma-informed practices we will be talking about. We mentioned it earlier today, is like when our brains are in trauma, we don't learn. Same with kids who are neurodiverse. Trauma's like the ultimate underlying equity piece. We all have it now. And so we'll talk more about this. And then I'm always going to tell you that we have an extra class just on trauma resilience. Please, please, please take 220 with Professor Johnson. I co-taught it last semester. It's amazing. She teaches you how to put together a self-care plan, emergency self-care plan, talk about that with kids. She talks about ACEs and our adverse childhood experiences and how who we are today is shaped by as things that happen to us as kids, good and bad, and how to become resilient. She runs it really almost like a podcast. It's fantastic. I love it. No tests in that class. No tests. Because you don't have to. We don't have to have tests, just assessments. More self-care stuff. Yes, this is my yogi. She's like 6 feet tall, about 400 pounds, very body positive. I've not been going, but I need to get back. She does Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings through Everybody LA for $5. Or she's got a bunch of stuff on Instagram for free. I dig her. She's also sponsored by Athleta, and she was in Shape magazine. Yeah, she's awesome. She's just a very awesome, warm person. We'll talk more about burnout later. Extra credit. I'll put this thing in there, but it's under assignments too, but I always list it twice. Future teacher resources, just a bunch of things that, hey, we'll talk about that. And special books for special kids. Oh, I love it. It's this nice person who goes around interviewing people across the planet who have very rare disorders and shows how just like a person they are. And you're like, this guy's so nice. Like, is he really like for reals? Like for reals that nice? Yeah, for reals that nice. And he started as writing books about kids because he was a teacher, and he kept the website, but he travels all over talking about, when some people were born with like without ears and eyes and they're still like having a meaningful life. It's just things like that, or just like rare genetic disorders, or people who are schizophrenic, or people with whatever, or he interviews the brother who's like best friends with his brother as Down syndrome. It's just super, super heartwarming. So we'll talk about that in each of our chapters. But yeah, this is all us right now. So really just 2 modules. And if you are interested in having the modules open like on a Sunday, like at 8 a.m., let me know. I will comply with your request, but I do need the request. That is your class in a nutshell. What do you guys got going at? Questions? What do you think? This is way different than when I first started. I used to do it totally different. And now over the semesters, I see what works for people. I see what makes the learning happen. And I course design very, very intentionally. Whew, lots of stuff. So no big surprises, right? This kind of looks like how classes should look. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't I feel, because I think most of my at least half of my child development classes have been 8 weeks or less, so that doesn't give me stress at all. It's just more so getting back into class after summer, because I didn't take a break. Like I did summer last year, I did winter intercession, and this time I took summer off, and I'm like, dang, I got to get back on the train.
It's hard because I tell you what, for me personally, I do not teach in January. I need that time. In summer, I do admin work, which means I'm sitting in front of the computer. So yeah, I will. But I've also made a commitment to myself this semester that I will not work past 10 p.m. because my sleep isn't optional. And it takes me a long time to wind down, even with the blue light glasses. So 10 p.m. I cut it whether I'm done or not. Number 2, I will not work 7 days a week. I won't. So I pick a day of the week, and usually Sunday I'm prepping, but I'm trying to do like Wednesday prep, Thursday prep, Friday prep. So I can actually have a weekend, at least one of the days with my kid, because I tell you what, My husband's off on Saturday, and then on Sunday, it's just me and Peyton. So if I'm sitting in front of the computer the whole time and he's like on his Switch the whole time, tell you what, he's a kid who will not spend more than 30 minutes on a device. He's like, Mom, let's go somewhere. Let's do something. He's that kid. So me sitting in front of a computer is not healthy for me or my child. So I'm trying to like balance that out and do more of my stuff during the week. I also committed to no night classes, but that may change because I have, we've had to move some of our classes to online. And then, so I'm co-teaching like this class again with Professor Fernandez, and she owns a preschool. And so she can't teach during the day. So we're still figuring that kind of schedule out. So I have these little things that I want to do to make sure that I'm sustained in my energy and my support of you guys over the semester. Little things, if I can make little adjustments, then it will help me in the long run. Same with you guys. I hope you guys are doing that. I'm not when I set my parameters, I know there's exceptions to those rules and I am flexible, but I'm really trying to like look at my sanity between here and December, because it's like December is crazy, right? Like, and then when you guys have finals week, I still am working for another week, like grading. So like basically Christmas season for me is like 6 days. Like I'm done like the 18th or something. It's like, that's not fair, because everybody else wants to froth out about Christmas and I don't even want to get a Christmas tree until the 18th. That's not fair. Right. So I'm trying to like spread it out a little bit, be a little bit more mindful of those things. So I hope you guys we'll talk about self-care and burnout management as we go. Yeah, cool. Good. Any other questions? Alex, Esmeralda, Giovanni, Adeli? Let me know at any time. Even if you forgot to ask right now, just email me Canvas inbox first, because once you do it in Canvas inbox, it also goes to my email. So again, like after this, I'll go right to my inbox and answer 3 students, because you'll see on my thing, you'll see it right there. I have 3 people looking for me. Yeah. And if for some reason, like even if you pronto me and I can't get to you right away, I might say, give me like 2 hours and I'll get back to you. If you don't hear from me in 2 hours, message me again. Because again, I get distracted or stuff pops up or whatever.
I actually do have a question. For the outline, you said we can go ahead and type it or we can write it down. If we write it down, should we submit it as a PDF file or would you want it as a picture?
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do actually accept JPEG, GIF, TIFF, stuff like that. I know TIFF comes off with the iPhones. Like when you take a picture, I think it automatically saves it as a TIFF. I'm not sure. I thought that was out for a while, but I'll take JPEG and GIF. So if you literally like, glitter pen, like your notes like that, that's cool and then like put it on your bed and take a picture. I'm cool with that. Yeah. It just can't be like that .pages and .hrec or something. I've never seen it before. And I literally can't open it. Like I click on those things and it says like does not support file support, not supported. But a picture's a picture. That's pretty standard. Good question though. Yeah. So one week you might type it out and the next week you might write it out. That's cool.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you. And I'm going to go because I have to get ready for work.
Bye. We'll see you next week, maybe early. If not, just stay in contact.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye. Gio, you got it? You're good? It was Esmeralda, Alex, Danny, you guys got this. I'm not worried about you guys at all. My 107 students need a lot more hand holding, but let me know.
Second time to be a charm.
It just takes a minute. I know this first week is so crazy. Just trying to like figure out the calendar and whatnot. Like, yeah.
I know I took a philosophy class last semester and it was honestly amazing.